visit for the Hokies in more than 30 years. Remember, they ended an 18-game losing streak to UNC last month. Tar Heels 14-0 at home at the Smith Center this season. UNC up 7 late in the second half. Jamon Gordon, the floater. Rashawn Terry, the ball was in the cylinder. He got called for the loose ball foul. That ends up being a 4-point play. It's now a 3-point game, now a 1-point game. Xavier Dowdell, a career-high 33, takes the lead. The Hokies do. We got something special brewing around this program, is what Dowdell said. Back the other way, Ty Lawson, Danny Green, and the Heels retake the lead. Final 45 seconds. Carolina +1. Dowdell to Deron Washington. He's fouled by Rashawn Terry. Washington hurt on the play, had 12 points, 14 boards. He's got to leave. He's a 59% free throw shooter, and so coach goes, well, who do I got on the... All right, Nigel. Get in, Nigel. 4 for 4 on the season. You make 2, we take the lead. Well, Munson, he misses the first one, and Coach Greenberg's like, oh, man, your scholarship's on this one. Oh, you're back on scholarship. And we are tied at 73. Now, North Carolina had 19 seconds, and this is what they came up with. And afterwards, Roy Williams said, the worst coaching job I've ever done in my entire life. Lawson missed 3 for the win. We go to overtime. 14 seconds left. Tyler Hansbrough, a couple free throws with North Carolina down 2. He misses the first, makes the second. It's a 1-point game. Now it's Marcus Sales with Tech up by 1. He's shooting 2 with 7 seconds left. Well, he's 12 for 27 on the season, so his chances of making 1 weren't very good. He misses them both. Here we come the other way. And Dowdell and Washington, they throw a quilt over Lawson. But look at Wayne Ellington. What a remarkable shot. Unfortunately for North Carolina fans, it came after the buzzer. The basketball gods were on our side today. Digger, UNC, are they a 1?
Bob Knight hadn't had a team lose 6 in a row in 36 years. Texas Tech would if they lose at number 6 A&M. Remember, they wrecked A&M last month in Lubbock. The Sensei White for 3. Tech was down 11 in the second half, but has taken a 2-point lead. A little bit later, Charlie Burgess, Jarius Jackson. That's a backdoor. Jackson really just getting started. Next Red Raider possession, Martin Zito. And it's a 6-point Texas Tech lead. Ags fight back. That's what they do. Antanas Kavalauskas. 2 of his 18, making 3 of his 18. A&M down 3. And then AC Law, how good is he? 23 in the game. That ties it up. A&M. Tech, rather, no timeout. Who do you go to? How about Jarius Jackson for the win? And he got it. Tech beats A&M twice in one season. As for the decision not to call timeout, Bob and I talked about it after the game.
I think it would have been a hell of a mistake if we'd have called timeout, because we'd have never gotten a break like that. I didn't call timeout, and that's why these kids deserve an awful lot of credit for getting it in and getting it down the floor, because if we call timeout, we're not going to get that shot.
Texas Tech, the only team in conference play to beat A&M, and they've done it twice. Fran Fraschilla, what are Tech's tourney chances?
See, ain't no place for 18th-ranked Kentucky to be, not when the Vols are on her, and Bernard King is 53, the only men's jersey ever retired at Tennessee. King owned Kentucky as a player. Second half, Kentucky down 5. Joe Crawford, 3-pointer, part of a 7-0 run. He had 24. Cats had won 4 straight in Knoxville. 5 minutes to play. Tennessee up 1. Duke Cruz inside the pump, and that was it. He had 18. Tennessee not going to give up the lead. Chris Lofton, he had 23. It's a great night for Tennessee basketball, and Bernard King is still beating Kentucky. That from Coach Pearl afterwards. Tennessee, 89-85. Missouri Valley Conference, your much-deserved turn. 15th-ranked Southern Illinois at Missouri State. Jamal Tatum right there, and Jamal Tatum right here. He had 16. Salukis up 3. Southern Illinois down a point under 5 minutes to go, and I want you to meet Randall Falker. He had 20 points, 12 rebounds, and $1:15 left. 1-point game. Tatum hit it. 8th straight. Salukis win it 51-47.
To do it, they had to beat number 21 Boston College to stop the skid. Josh McRoberts and David McClure. McClure can't handle it. 15 turnovers for Duke in the game, and it looks like their past 4 games. Later, BC down 1. Tyrese Rice from Worcester, and he knocks it down. He had 22, BC up 2. Still first half, Duke up 3. DeMarcus Nelson to McRoberts. Duke up 5 and pulling away. They made a 14-3 run to close the first half. Second half, Duke up 13. And look at this, the entire Duke student body running the break. 5-on-1 break. Easy bucket for Greg Paulus. Duke up 15. Al Skinner wondering where his defense was. More Duke. McRoberts scoreless in the first 9.5 minutes, wound up with 18 points and 11 boards. 4:30 remaining. Nelson open in the corner. Bang, bang, bang. He had 15. Duke up 14. But here comes BC. Sean Marshall for 3. Got that. He had 23. BC within 8. They had been down by as many as 24. Buck 30 left. BC down 6. They're all over Jared Dudley. They forced a turnover. Paulus with another layup. Dudley with just 11 points. Paulus 15 points and 7 assists. Duke wins at 78-70. And their leader of men leads them to a win they really needed.
Our guys have been pretty confident playing everybody. You know, they believe they can win. They just have to learn how to win. But this was a really hard-fought win for us. I'm proud of our young kids. I'm really proud of them.
All right, so let's take a look at the numbers. After 4 straight losses in which they shot under 45%, hit only 1 out of every 3 three-pointers, Duke opened it up on Wednesday night, hitting 42% from beyond the arc. As basketball, Alabama a dull 5-5 in the SEC, but a win over #1 Florida could certainly add a little shine to their situation. First half, Alabama already up 13. Alonzo G with a rip and a big finish. Alabama up 11 at the half, but we've seen this before. January 31st, Florida down 11 against Vanderbilt at the half. They went on to win that one by 10, showing some championship mettle in that game. So back to Wednesday night's game. Gators have cut it to 3. Corey Brewer with the rip, and he puts it in reverse. He had 16, Gators down 1. Then later, Brewer said Torian Green is the best point guard in the country. When he gets it going, it's over. Green with a finish there, and then the Gators up 1. Green off the high screen, 0 for 6 in the first half, finished with 20 points, and it was over. Florida wins at 76-67.
Won 9 straight games this year. Somebody wanted Greg Oden to be their Valentine, and Oden had 15 and 10 in this one in snowy Happy Valley. The students there didn't have any classes, which means they probably showed up feeling ready to cheer, but Penn State had nothing to cheer. Ron Lewis hits one of the Buckeyes' 9 threes. Buckeyes led by as many as 25, but here come the Nittany Lions. Mooch Jackson knocks down the 3. Under a minute left, Penn State's within 6 now. Mike Walker, off balance 3 goes. 10 ticks on the clock. Buckeyes now up only 2. Ron Lewis misses the second of 2 free throws, and here we go. They get the ball into the hands of Geary Claxton, who's Penn State's best player, but he gets doubled. He kicks it out. 3 on the way from Walker goes begging, and Ohio State survives. Whew. They win by 2.
All right, so Wisconsin needed to win over Minnesota to keep pace with the Buckeyes on top the Big Ten. Badgers 24 wins, 1 shy of tying a school record. Minnesota with a rock, game tied at 13. Damian Johnson to Kevin Payton. He's got no conscience, but he's got range. Gophers up 3. Game tied at 19 now. Michael Flowers with the offensive board. It's Valentine's Day, and he delivers the flowers. All 3 of them. Wisconsin up 3. Second half, Minnesota down 2. Spencer Tollickson, bucket and the foul. He scored Minnesota's first 9 points in the second half. Gophers up 1. Wisconsin up 2. Jason Chappell getting there with authority. Wisconsin up 4. And then Orlando Tucker. This is why he's a Player of the Year candidate. You can foul him. It doesn't matter. 29-9 for him. Wisconsin wins it by 13 to keep a share of the conference lead.
KU's beaten Colorado 35-36, 9-10 in Boulder. They call it Fog Allen West. Julian Wright off the opening tip-off, hustling all the way, and hits almost impossible lefty flip. The Jayhawks are up, and they don't look back. Julian Wright always helping us out with our highlights because he's always doing things like this. Powers comparable to Wonder Boy. That's levitation, Holmes. Then Darnell Jackson will just, I mean, that's wrong to do to somebody like that in his own building with the block. Then Russell Robinson from New York to Sasha Khan. Sasha Khan with the bucket. Colorado shoots 27%. Kansas wins by 1 million. Dan knows all about the Trouble Funk Express. This here is the College Basketball Express. Marquette taking on DePaul, the 13th ranked team from Marquette, down 5 until that 3 from Wesley Matthews makes it a 2-point game. Dominique James had a miserable game at Georgetown when they lost last weekend. Here, trying to be the hero and tie it up. Thought he was fouled. No foul is called. The Blue Demons knock off Marquette. A couple of road losses in a row for them. Now, we don't show you number 9, Memphis, a whole lot on SportsCenter because they beat people to death. So the highlights aren't that compelling. They're winning by too many. Well, Jeremy Hunt, nice backdoor dunk there. Chris Douglas Roberts. They win by 17, and they're too good to be denied. A little bit of love. Speaking of love, how about some love for the Islands? Hawaii's own Derek Lowe drains the 3. Washington State sweeps UW for the 2nd year in a row.
Movement by Washington State.
USC beat Arizona and LA this year, but the men of Troy haven't won in the desert since 1985. They battled this one all the way through. Gabe Pruitt with a steal and then hits the B button, old school style with a spin past Marcus Williams. He had 17. They trail by 3 at the break. Chase Buttinger. If you don't know, now you know. The freshman's got nasty game. Arizona's starting to stretch it out. They're up 7. But USC's got Nick Young. And this is a guy whose name you should also know. Rises up, bucket, 3 the hard way. He finishes with 26, and USC has got the lead. And here, after a timeout, your senior point guard, Mustafa Shakur, he's got to know better than that. Pass picked off, deficit still 4. And then late, time running down, and so is hope. Buttinger's 3 goes begging, and USC sweeps Arizona for the first time since 82-83, the year before Luth got to Arizona.
Number 7 UCLA at Arizona State. Bruins hit the floor just 3 up, 3 down on the road this season. Sun Devils 0-13 in Pac-10 play this year. Doesn't look like it here. Second half, Sun Devils up 5. Jaron Shipp hits the 3. He had 10. And then it's Antuia Tuani off the window. And the Sun Devils have a 10-point lead. UCLA rallying down 8. Josh Shipp. His only bucket pulls the Bruins within 6. UCLA down 3 here. Darren Collison is open for 3. 3 for 7 from distance. We're tied at 49, tied at 51. Collison, the long triple to beat the shot clock. UCLA up 54-51. Collison with 18. Bruins use an 18-2 run to seal the deal. Aaron Aflalo with 3. He led all scorers with 24, and UCLA wins.
In bucket in Spanish. If it was IU and Purdue in football, it would be Oaken Bucket. It's a day late because of the blizzard. Anytime you get to see Gene Cady, it's a good thing. He's, of course, the former Purdue coach. And here you got DJ White and Chris Kramer getting all tangled up, and things get heated because it's IU and Purdue. And it's a big deal. I love you. Let's play ball. Second half, Hoosiers on the break. Armin Bassett, 3 of his 16, and Indiana takes its first lead of the second half, but the Boilermakers come roaring back. Gordon Watts with a steal. Gets the bucket in transition, his only bucket. Purdue's up 3. David Teague showing out a career-high 32, had 6 of 8 from 3, and Purdue gets a big win in their quest to make the tournament. They beat IU on the road against Missouri State. They've won a dozen in a row. Michael Jenkins leads the squad in points and in three-point percentage. You got .4 on the clock. Booch, you want to talk about a quick release? How about give me all 3 of these in .4? Can you catch, shoot, and release in .4?
Yes, so.
He did. Winthrop down by 1 at the half. Missouri State, a good team, but they've been struggling at home lately, and they're probably not going to get in. They keep losing home games. Craig Bradshaw, head fake, pull up 3. He had 16, Eagles up 2. Then it's Jenkins forcing the turnover. Finds Terrell Martin on the break. And it's old school 1, 2, 3 the hard way. Winthrop up 5 after the free throw, and Jenkins, the best player on the floor, led everybody with 25. 7 of 12 from 3. And Winthrop gets a big road win in the bracket buster.
This was a great game. Albany has players from 11 different states on their roster. Boise State, players from 9 different states. That's George Carl watching his son Kobe Carl right there play and score. Kobe Carl with 5 points. Broncos by 1. 90 seconds left. Boise State down by 1. Jamar Wilson loses it. Anthony Thomas grabs it. Eric Lane up and in. Broncos by 1. Just over 1 minute to go. Same score. 80-79 Boise State. That's Albany right there in the dark uniforms. Free throw is good. Jamar Wilson and 1. He had 22. Albany by 2. Just over 35 seconds left. Albany still by 2. Thomas for 3. Broncos by 1. One more chance for Albany, down by 1. Brian Linus to the hoop. No. Brian Connolly. No. And Boise State wins a thriller. There were 30 lead changes in this game, and Boise State gets a big win.